welcome to my views and news. Another video. Main news stories from Adi Arkay, North Gondar zone. The town changed sides, changed hands several times in the past 2 months, around 2 months. And we know that from Adi Arkay, from the areas to the west of Adi Arkay, Tigray forces were planning an offensive towards Volkite. What happened? We have some details for you. It seems TDF is losing ground on Adiarkay front, like it lost ground on Vaja front. Secondly, Ireland today, Ethiopia wrote a letter to Irish Foreign Ministry. The letter is from Ethiopian Foreign Minister Damake Mekonnen. It seems to be a warning for Ireland from Ethiopia. And next step could be cutting off of ties, diplomatic ties between Ethiopia and Ireland. The issue is Ireland's backing of resolutions, backing of sanctions on Ethiopian government regarding ongoing war in Ethiopia. Thirdly, viewers, Brad Sherman, a US congressman, today talked to Joe Biden, US president, about ongoing war in Ethiopia. And lastly, Getachew today spoke about whether Tigray forces are in defensive mode or in offensive mode. Are they going to shift gears? Have they changed gears? He spoke about it. Firstly, viewers, Adarkay, Adiarkay, a town on Tigray-Amhara border, on Amhara side of the border, in North Gondar zone of the Amhara region, has changed hands several times in the past 50 days. Adiarkay was under TDF control since last year. Then ENDF and Amhara forces retook Adiarkay a few weeks ago rather. TDF then retook Adiarkay. And after that, it started preparations to launch an offensive on Volkite from areas to the west of Adiarkay, and preparations are underway in Adiarkay, in Mesambre, and in areas to the west of Adiarkay. Now, reportedly, TDF has lost some ground on Adiarkay front, like it has lost ground on Vaja front, where Vaja, reportedly Ethiopian federal forces, Amhara regional forces are in Vaja. Same seems to be happening on Adiarkay front. Though visual confirmation is awaited, reportedly ENDF and Amhara forces, they have managed to reach Adiarkay. And TDF is being pushed out of Adiarkay. Getachew Reda, in his press briefing today, confirmed intense fighting on Adiarkay front, on southern front, Vaja, Elamata, Koram. And now what we are receiving in terms of reports is that Tigray forces have lost ground on this front. Reportedly, Tigray forces are being pushed towards Mesamre from Adarkay, waiting for visual confirmation. In coming hours, we're expecting to receive visual confirmation. Reportedly, Tigray forces have been pushed back from Adarkay. It means their offensive towards Volkite will not work, because if they lose Adarkay, it will be difficult for them to continue their offensive through Valdiba monastery towards Volkite. Update you in coming videos about Adarkay. It seems that on both fronts, southern Tigray, North Gondar, Tigray forces have come under pressure. By the way, it's not surprising for me. TDF cannot hold on to its gains for years. Survival of Tigray forces is in guerrilla warfare, like we saw in the first phase of this conflict. So if EDF, ENDF push towards main town cities, Tigray forces will have to retreat. Their main stronghold would be central Tigray if this war goes on. So it isn't surprising, though this time it is taking some time. Last time in the first phase, they lost ground quickly. This time they're fighting. They're trying to defend as much as possible, but keeping in view that they are facing Ethiopian federal forces, Eritrean forces, regional forces, militia, and they have limited supply of weapons, limited supply of manpower as well. So ultimately, they'll be in a difficult position when it comes to controlling big town cities. Let's see, where will the front line be now if Tigray forces lose Adiarkay? On Tigray-Amhara border or in Mesabre. Let's see what happens. In coming videos, we'll try to update you. Secondly, Ethiopia today wrote a letter to Ireland, which seems to be a warning for Ireland. Ireland has been supporting sanctions on Ethiopian government at UN Security Council meetings since the start of Tigray war in November 2020. Ireland requested several UN Security Council meetings about Ethiopian conflict. It supported sanctions and reportedly Ethiopia recalled once its envoy to Ireland. Today, Ethiopia wrote a letter to Ireland. Ethiopian Foreign Minister Damaki Mekonnen wrote this letter to Irish Foreign Minister. Ethiopia is accusing Ireland of plotting against Ethiopian sovereignty, that by backing terrorist groups, Ireland is violating, it is going against Ethiopian sovereignty. It seems that Ethiopia has decided that if Ireland continues its position about the ongoing war, Ethiopia will cut off diplomatic ties with Ireland. This letter seems to be last warning from Ethiopia to Ireland. Thirdly, viewers, Brad Sherman, US congressman, staunch supporter of Tigray regional government, today talked to Joe Biden, US president. Brad Sherman, in a tweet, confirmed his talk with Joe Biden. Brad Sherman says potential genocide in Tigray was discussed and ways to pressure Eritrea to withdraw from Tigray were discussed as well. Joe Biden was open to hear Brad Sherman's ideas. Brad Sherman is accused of supporting TPLF, like some senators are supporting Ethiopian government. He is a congressman. Jim Inhofe, who visited Ethiopia a few days ago, a senator I think, he is a staunch supporter of Ethiopian federal government. And Brad Sherman is on opposite side. Let's see what will Joe Biden do. Will he take some action in terms of forcing Eritrean forces out of Tigray, in terms of putting pressure upon Ethiopian government to agree to cessation hostilities? So far, statements are being issued by US government. 6 countries issued a statement yesterday, including US, but no actions, only words. Lastly, viewers, Getachew today confirmed that Tigray is still in defensive mode, because after Getachew's today's press briefing, some news outlets were reporting that Tigray had changed gears, that Tigray was going to start offensives now. But Getachew corrected in a tweet that Tigray is still in defensive mode. Tigray is just defending its territories. Not surprising. We know that on all fronts, Tigray is defending. It is retreating. It retreated from Wallo. It could retreat from other places in coming days. Only front where offensive preparations were underway was Adarkay, Mesamre, where offensive towards Volkayt was expected. But here again, we're seeing now counteroffensive from END, from our forces on Adarkay, and TDF is losing ground. So basically, Tigray is in defensive mode. Can Tigray change gears? Not now. Not now. Tigray's first priority is to defend its territories. Even if defending territories, it's difficult for Tigray. So it's not that Tigray is in a position to start major offensives into Volkayt, Amhara or Eritrea. but the fate of its offensive towards Volkayth is unclear. We've been coming, I will have more information about this preparation being made by Tigray to make a move on Volkayth. Some say Tigray did start moving towards Volkayth, Tigray forces from the west of Adarkay towards Voldiba, fighting being reported there. But again, confirmation is awaited. Thank you for watching.